Howdy, I'm Matt Deckard, and I, well, I study hats, design hats, love them all. And one hat in particular, I'm from LA. Dodgers moved out here in 1957. This is an unboxing video. So, there's a few companies out there that were making retro baseball caps back in the day. I've collected a lot of original vintage ones. When it comes to companies reproducing them, there aren't many that have come close to what Mitchell and Ness have done. Like this one here, it's a very hard one to do, and even when companies try to reproduce it, and I'll explain why it's hard to do. It's got a Sudache stripe that goes down the seams, and the logo is embroidered. When they embroider the logo, they tend to have to stop the stripe, embroider the logo into it, then start the stripe again. Some people have tried to get around this by adding a felt B, but that's only to hide how they're cutting out the Sudache stripe. But Mitchell and Ness did this extremely well. I wish they would do it again. They're not in the cap making business at the moment, or they're not in the business of making vintage reproduction caps. This one actually has the reeding in it and has the leather in it like a classic cap. Point of fact, the leather inside that goes around, they switched up for cotton on modern day caps because, well, if you put on a classic fedora as well, it's like a gasket. It seals your head in and then has the fabric above. It's just very hot. The cloth is a bit better. Now, to unboxing. This is something from New Era. They just put this out. Now, New Era has the 59FIFTY, which is it's since 1958, they put out this very trucker-style cap. It's what we think of as the ball cap today. It's a very high crown, but strong in front cap. Sort of drops in the back, flat in the front. Trucker style. They're the ones who pushed it. Became standard procedure for other companies to push it, and it's mainly to make the logo a billboard on your forehead. Now this is a Brooklyn Dodgers billboard on the forehead. I like it. It's just not like a retro cap. Like this is the one that Mitchell and Ness put out. Lower crown. Looks like a 1930s ball cap, 1940s. I love it. Again, I wish they could reproduce this though with the figure 8B, and then stop doing the stripe through the B, and then go and do the stripe again. Maybe soon enough they will. But in lieu of that, they put out, and this is the one Jackie Robinson first wore. Then he moved on to one like this, which was a solid blue, and the one that he wore had a white squatchy on top. Now this is the blue squatchy on top. Now, again, figure 8B, New Era, they did this for 2017. I haven't seen the figure 8B again, but it was available in 2017. I haven't seen it on any of their new caps. I know that 47 brand does the figure 8B. I wish they would do it as well on more of the New Era caps. This is a low profile that they did, and it's kind of nice. It looks like a let's say late, it's might be a late 30s, early 40s style, and that's the B. The B is from the 30s and 40s, and the only real drawback I see is the fact that it comes with the brim curved, so you can't just make it into what you want. The again, the squatchy's white, and the front paneling is this. It's a buckram, but it's got like fishing line, plastic, holding that up. So unlike back in the 1930s and 40s and 20s, this would actually be something they'd press, they could starch it, but it would not be this statically straight up. So I myself, when I put this on, I always think it looks very cone-headed in a way versus what they would have had back in the 1920s and 30s, which leads me back to why I'm here. They released something new. a new crown shape. They call it the retro crown from New Era. Now, New Era has, again, the iconic 5950, which is very much the trucker front, and it comes with a flat brim. This one's been curved. I beat my hats up. Actually, I've been told I abuse my suits and hats. That's just my way. I wear them to death. And then they have the low profile, which is this, which kind of looks like a classic ball cap that you see in the day. But, again, it's got that trucker... Well, it pushes up in the front. So if I have a narrower head, long front and back, narrower side to side, it creates a bit of a cone shape. The lens may not help you see that here, but I'm not keen on it. I kind of like the boxy fit of the 1940s, which I think gets carried off more with this. See, it's more squared off, but not too high, like the 5950. This is actually much lower than the 5950, but it's got more of a squared off shape. And this is from another company called Classic Sportswear Inc., which is made in Oklahoma, no longer around. But I like the shape. So, regardless of all that, unboxing, I'm going to get to it. This is the New Era Retro Crown. And my suspicion is that it is a low profile, very much like this one, which is more rounded when it comes to the design, and patterned to be a little narrower across the top, so it's just more curved. I do hope it's more like the classic one I've seen from older New Era ones, where it's a little more boxy like that, but just lower than the 5950. Whereas this isn't. This is just narrower at the crown. And anyway, unboxing. This is one they call the Retro Crown. There's a Brooklyn Dodgers one in here and a LA Dodgers one in here. And let's see how it looks. Okay. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Well, this is straight from New Era, so the packaging so far is pretty sturdy. Okay, put that away. Not bad packaging. Receipt and all the rest. Okay, here's the Retro Crown Brooklyn Dodgers. I've got two of these. I got the Brooklyn Dodgers one. Put that there for a second. And I got the LA Dodgers one. By the way, they're the same team. Tossing that aside. So let's Brooklyn or LA first. Let me see. Take the LA out of the plastic. And these are the Retro Crown edition. These are the new ones to the lineup of 5950s. You know what? That crown, that height, that looks like it is a... and it's also got the paper inside to try to push up that front. That was a big deal back in the 1950s when the 58 was when the New Era, the actual 5950 came into fame, and it was because they pushed a cap that had that front logo that stood up and was proud, and they'd starched it up and made it stick out. This isn't bad to my eye yet. I haven't put it on my head. You have to wait and see. Okay, it's not a 30s cap again. It's a I don't know. It's a modern day. I think it's trying to replicate what they were doing in the 50s, or right before they pushed the vaulted front of that crown that's well known today. So here's the Brooklyn Dodgers one. By the by, the B on this Brooklyn Dodgers cap, if you look at the B on this is the, again, 38, early 40s, and then they kept this B, and let me see. Then they went to this B right before they moved to LA. This was the B, and there's a bit of a difference where this is a figure 8, like an owl looking down on you. This is not a figure 8. This is the one Jackie Robinson started out wearing this shape of 8 or a B. Had it on his cap, and they moved toward this one later on. I tend to like this one. I like the figure 8 that Jackie Robinson first wore. Babe Ruth, he wore this B. Very hard to have a... I've only seen New Era issue it once. So back to topic. Opening up the bag with the later edition B that the Brooklyn Dodgers wore. And good job in bringing that back, that B, by the way, New Era. I have kind of been upset with that boomerang style that you had. Bakersfield Dodgers, if you see a little boomerang here. That wasn't what the Brooklyn Dodgers ever wore. It was a straighter cut here. They released that one as well. But this was the one that was put out for LA, Bakersfield Dodgers, and when they did games like throwback games, they'd always put this out and have the original Brooklyn Dodgers players wear this version. But the version that they wore was more like that and like this. So this is the let me see. This is the all wool retro crown. Relaxed heritage fit. And I also have the retro crown LA Dodgers one. Difference being they released the Brooklyn Dodgers one in all wool. They released the LA Dodgers one in polyester. I do wish they'd put this out in all wool as well, more like what was available back in 1958. Even though the 58 ones were still that original 59FIFTY 1958 iconic style. This is their retro crown, and let's see how this looks. I love this hat, by the way. Mitchell and Ness, I love this hat. New Era, if you can do this, white inside the B, stop it, keep going. Figure 8B. Maybe in this cut. Let's see how this looks. I'd be forever in your debt. So let's see. This is the Brooklyn Retro fit. It's got a bit of a flat brim. I'm a fan. And you may not like it, those that are into the modern day cap. I got a mirror over there too. But I'm trying to think of it if it is the 59FIFTY, which I think it is. I think it's the 59FIFTY without the plastic buckram inside, and instead it's got a layer of cotton inside. And these have come not curved really, but flat. Well, pretty flat. Flat as in this is how they probably would have been produced back in the day, because those were board flat for the guys, and so are the current 59FIFTY. These aren't as curved as you'd think they would be. Now, I will take some time to pick this out because it takes away from that Felix Unger hat backwards look that I like. Let's see the LA one, which is made of polyester. I think the polyester does take away from it a bit. Bigger gripe again would be, and New Era knows this because they responded to me about this, the lack of the white squatchy on top. if you're going to do a retro hat, vintage style hat, you know what? Today we're all about, a lot of people are about tacky, adding things on to everything. You know, this has the New Era flag. It has the MLB logo. Picking those out, it takes about literally like 20 minutes with the edge of that knife on each of these. But the button on top. If you're really a fan of the Dodgers and you're reproducing something that was iconic from back in the day that Jackie Robinson wore, you'd get the button right. You'd have that white squatchy on top. Anywho, this has been a unboxing. This is the Retro Crown 5950 from New Era. Brooklyn Dodgers version. The pictures of this actually have a white squatchy on top on their website. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. But outside of it, I like how the crown is squared off, and it looks like an old school cap where, if you look at the old ads from back in the day, or what would you call it, posters for a baseball game that's going to happen, you'd see the top of the crown's kind of nicely sunken in. It's because it's that boxy fit like the 5950, but just about a half-inch lower, and it's soft. So this would maybe sag back on some of the guys, but it would still look like, you know, you'd know what team it is. It's got the thick embroidery of a modern-day cap. I did like their 1920 styles, which have, it's a similar boxy fit. I think that's what they actually went with. They went with the boxy fit of their 1920 cap and tossed on it the modern day brim. It's not bad. I like it. After I take this off and add the white squatchy, I think it'll really look like a vintage mid-50s Brooklyn Dodgers cap. Anywho, I'm Matt Deckard. This is the New Era Retro Crown unboxing. Where the LA Dodgers one went. Here it is. I'd love to see these on the field. Take care.